So today's question. So try to get this set up. Are there any clear solutions to repair our middle class? It's an interesting one, right? Because it makes you think, what is that solution and why wouldn't the middle class know about it, right? My entire life, it's just been, the middle class is the backbone of America. We need to make sure that we always have a stable middle class. And it's just like slowly withering away. And it's just like, okay, we got to start bringing back our middle class. It's like, you're saying a lot of things, you know? What are we doing here? You know? It's interesting. Like, the way that our system is currently set up, it's almost as if the middle class is destined to fail, right? Let's just break down like what our economy has transformed into now, which is based off of debt. Weird, right? So someone like myself, right? You have two options when you come out of high school. Okay, so those two options when you come out of school, come out of high school are either, well, there's obviously the military as well. But the other two options would also be you either go to college or you go into working America. So like let's take the military out of the equation, right? It's a difficult decision, just it's a hard one for me to even think about doing. Those people are amazing. But back on track. If the option that all of our parents want us to do is go to school, right? They're like, continue your education. And it's like, all right, cool. I'll go to school, sit there for another 4 to 8 years and just watch somebody talk to me, you know? And that's fine. But now you're asking me to take on $20,000 to $60,000 of debt a year for the next 5 years as an 18-year-old. What? I don't know how to make money yet. And you're like, just go debt yourself beforehand. You're like, oh, what? Okay, let's go do this thing, right? So you go off to school and you get debted all this money. You get out of school and they're like, hey, in order to get a job here, you have to have this degree. It's like, all right, cool. But like, I owe these people a bunch of money. So like, is this job gonna give me enough money so I can pay them back so that I can start like making money for myself? And they're like, well, no, you gotta work for that job. It's like, all right, cool. So like, what job is that? Well, it's my job. And you're like, are you going anywhere anytime soon? Nope. Oh, okay. So how does this work? Right? Like, if I need enough money to pay off the student loans so that I can start profiting money for myself to start contributing to the economy that you guys are asking us to do, well, I need money. And if the jobs that are out there for college graduates don't give us enough money to pay these people off and enough time for me to actually benefiting off of contributing to the economy, isn't that how you have a market collapse? Like, if you have an abundance of houses and not enough people to go out and buy the houses because people can't afford to do so because they owe other people money, aren't we just gonna have a collapse again? Right? Like the problem last time was the fact that there was too many houses and not enough people paying for them. I can't afford a $300,000 house. I owe these people $40,000 for school, for a job that you created new requirements for. Most of the people that have those jobs, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but when they got that job, that wasn't the requirement. So now you put that requirement on us, and not only that, you wanted us to go into debt for the job that you have no plan on moving anytime soon. Like you say, I'm planning on getting my 401k. I'm dying here. It's like, okay, well, I don't know if you know this, but the economy that you guys set up and the ones that you begged us to contribute to is now in a free fall because all of the kids that are supposed to be the future of the economy can't afford to exist within it. How's that a complicated issue to figure out? Like, our parents, right, go to school. And school is the best way out of poverty in America, right? But it used to be that because you could afford to go to school on a part-time salary and come out of that educational system with no debt, so that you could immediately start to contribute to society. Right? Like, in order for me to get to the job that you want me to take, now that I have my education, I need transportation, which is another $20,000 that I owe these people. Right? And you're like, well, you could buy a used car. With what money? Because you debted me as soon as I got out of high school. So again, I got to get to your job. So now I just have to owe these people $20,000. That's fine. During that process, now I'm starting to make money, right? Trying to figure out how to, like, budget this on my own. And you guys go, well, now that the bankers got a little bit more money in their pocket from the housing rebuttal, we should raise the price of living for everyone. It's like, what purpose is that gonna do? I'm confused. Because if the problem was that people couldn't afford housing, you have the entire city of Los Angeles outside. Literally. There are tents, millions of tents, thousands of tents across America. And people are just like, we got to make sure the stock market stays good. That's not a real thing, bro. Like, your stock market is just as fake as the NFTs. In fact, it's actually faker, just so we're clear, because at least somebody can hand me a physical NFT. You can't hand me a stock. So your thing is just as fake, right? You guys just made a bunch of money off of it. More power to you. What are we doing here? What's the solution? Right? And then the government goes, well, let's see. We can't forgive student debt because it sends the wrong message. But we're about to go through our second housing collapse. And they're like, another bailout there is fine. It's like, okay. 2 + 2 = 12. We'll get there, right? It's so crazy. And like, I guess the part that really frustrates me about this is the generations that created this problem. And I'm not saying it's specific to a generation. Something you learn along the way from each other, right? Their first thought process was, millennials are gonna ruin this country because they won't get off of their phones. That's because I can't afford to go outside. That's all it is, right? You don't think I would like to go to a bar for a couple hours and just chill out? Or just go out to axe throwing things, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a fun time, right? But the people that created or